Hey guys, and welcome to another Sailor Moon Crystal review. And this is for, I believe, episode 10, which is crazy that we only have 3 more episodes of this season left, and then we don't even know when the Dream Act is coming out. But I'm guessing that Dream will come out in 2017, probably January. Be a nice Christmas gift for the fans. So let's talk about this episode because I thought it was beautiful. So let me just start off by saying the poor interstellar soldiers just have no luck. In this episode, they were pretty much given the shaft for screen time, but that's how it was also written in the manga. And then at the end of the episode, they were knocked out. So this episode was very much Sailor Moon based, and Sailor Uranus, Sailor Neptune, Sailor Pluto based, and then Chibi-Usa and Hotaru had some nice moments in it as well. Also, Mistress 9 and Pharaoh 90. Wow, I absolutely loved that opening scene. It gave me chills. None of the other scenes really hit me as hard as that opening scene. It was fantastic. It was really, really amazing. So there's a couple things about this episode that I really, really liked, and I'm just going to pretty much list them. So I really liked how all 3 of the Outer Sailor soldiers are able to relate to each other on the concept of loneliness. I thought it was a really interesting idea that the idea of being lonely, or the fact that they were lonely for so long, is what allows them to become best friends, and in the case of Michiru and Haruka's case, lovers. I really like that. I think it's a really sweet notion. I also love how it relates back to Sailor Moon, because obviously she has Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus, but there are times when she's alone, where she truly feels the brunt of being alone. She hates it, but she can relate to it. So I thought that was a really, really nice concept, that the 3 of them were able to connect to Sailor Moon in some way, have a relatable moment, but at the same time also connect to each other as well. Plus, I just love that scene, or the scenes, when in the past, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are looking at the Silver Millennium, and they see the image of Queen Serenity and Princess Serenity. Also, Neptune looking at Usagi, or Princess Serenity, in her mirror was really a nice touch as well. Neptune might have a little girl crush on Sailor Moon, just like how Haruka has a total crush on her princess too. She does. It's obvious. So in this episode, we got a lot of backstory. We got the backstory of Mistress 9, a little bit of Pharaoh 90, definitely Professor Tomo and Kaori Knight, or Kaori-kun, which was interesting, and a little brief backstory of the Witches 5. So Kaori Knight and Professor Tomo are definitely humans, but it looks like Tomo made the Witches 5 as well, so it looks like they weren't innocent Mugen students who lost their host. They just were apparently created in the lab, at least from my perspective of this episode, or my perception from this episode, but I could be totally wrong or whatnot. But I think it's interesting that the Witches 5 have a totally different origin, at least from my viewing. I could be wrong. Share your thoughts in the comments below if I am. But I have to say, learning about Mistress 9 and Pharaoh 90, and just that opening scene really, really got to me. It was fantastic. I think it was definitely one of the highlights of SMC Infinity. So it's also funny to me in this episode, and by the way, I have a whole list of notes here. I really kind of went all out for this because there was just so many things I liked. What's funny to me is Chibi-Usa, who's in a coma, got more screen time and a little bit more development than the Interstellar Soldiers did in this episode, for obvious reasons, of which I talked about in the beginning. But, you see the poor kid after Mistress 9 swallows her crystal, and she's kind of floating in darkness, and then she feels Hotaru's presence, and she feels relaxed. So I love the fact that, Hotaru is able to show such great character development, despite the fact that her soul is literally being suppressed by the malefic entity that is Mistress 9. So I really love that. The Hotaru is extremely strong, Chibi-Usa, even though she's literally, her soul is inside Mistress 9 as well. She's just able to show that she needs people as well. So just like her mother, she doesn't do well with being lonely. And I just thought that scene where Chibi-Usa was kind of asleep inside Mistress 9's body. Odd thing to say. I thought it was a really, really beautiful scene. So we also got to see Garnet Ball for the first time in this episode, which was a really nice concept. I like the fact that Garnet Ball was used in real time as opposed to used with the magical trolley dances that all the attacks were doing. Infinity has definitely been a major throwback to the original anime, but which I like. But I like the fact that Garnet Ball was done in real time. Also, we got to see Submarine Reflection and Space Sword Blaster again. And it's just so funny to see those attacks being used so often when originally they were like never used. I mean, World Shaking, Dead Scream, and Deep Submerge really ruled the original anime for the Outer's attacks, and now Submarine Reflection, Chronos Typhoon, and Space Sword Blaster seem to be the big ones. We also got to see Super Sailor Moon fight, which I thought was really cool, or at least she was dodging Professor Tomo's Diamond Form's attacks, and his Diamond Form looked really badass. I like that. That was beautifully animated. However, the scenes leading up to him becoming a badass were so creepy, like just like the big hand thing. Sorry for the funky lighting. Those hand gestures and whatnot. Just the animation was off. I think it was kind of supposed to show like the mad scientist and the crazy gimmick. I didn't like it though. I didn't think it was that clever. I would have preferred like a bit more static animation or a bit more standard animation where he wasn't being a mad psychotic scientist. Now, I talked about the original anime a couple times. I want to talk about it again really, really fast, and then I'm pretty much done with this episode because the episode ends with Usagi losing her super form, and I just love her reaction to when the inners pretty much have lost connection to her, and her reaction to that is great, and also the reaction of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto to that is beautiful as well. So, in the original anime, Mistress 9 in Sailor Moon S was in 3 episodes. She was in 123, 124, and 125. Black Lady, I believe, was in 83 to 85. So she was in 83, 84, 85, or 86, I should say, or maybe 87. I know that either way, my point is she was in the late 80s. I know that Sailor Moon R went up to 88, I believe. Point being is Black Lady was in a lot of episodes too. So Black Lady had 4 episodes in the original anime. She had 4 episodes in Crystal. Granted, she wasn't named in Act 22, but she was there when she watched Rubius die. So Black Lady had 4 episodes in the original and 4 episodes in Crystal. Mistress 9 only got 3 episodes in the original. So I like the fact that in Crystal she's getting an extra episode. Or that's just how the story goes. Mistress 9 and Black Lady are 2 of my favorite villains. I think the concept of good characters turning evil is done quite well by Naegu Takeuchi. Totally butchered her name. But I think that she does a fantastic job with showing how characters can turn evil then turn back to being good. I think it was done really well. A lot of us do critique her writing, but I think that she definitely nailed that concept down. So I'm looking forward to seeing Mistress 9 again, and I just really loved her scenes in this episode, especially that ending scene with her just kind of sitting in the chair and being all creepy looking was awesome. One other like fandom thing I guess I can quickly discuss is I kind of wish when Mistress 9 ate Chibi-Usa's crystal, like her negative energy somehow affected Chibi-Usa's body and turned her into Black Lady, and then we could have had Black Lady and Mistress 9 team up. Obviously fan service right there, but that would have been so cool. So like I said, the only thing about this episode I didn't like was that funky beginning of the battle with Professor Tomo and the Outers. But I thought the battle itself was fantastic, and I really love this episode. It was really, really interesting. I wish the inners got to do a bit more, but that's just not the way it was written. And I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about the episode in the comments below. Please, please, please share your thoughts. I love talking to you guys about SMC. I think I hit everything on the head here. I really think I did. I'm looking forward to next week's a lot. I think it's going to be another fantastic episode. Next week is when the 3 Outers get to form the Sailor Box, or in this case, the Sailor Triangle, because there's 3 of them. Saturn hasn't been summoned yet, and Saturn is coming very soon. I know a lot of us want to see Pluto Planet Power, but Pluto Planet Power makeup or Pluto Planet Power doesn't come in the original manga until the side story with Snow Princess Kaguya. So unless they animate that around Christmas time, I doubt we're going to get to see Planet Power. And also Sailor Saturn doesn't use Saturn Planet Power either. That's also actually original to the Sailor Moon Super S video game. It's not original to the anime, to the original anime, or to the manga. Saturn's only transformation is Pluto Crystal Power, or Saturn Crystal Power in the manga. I just wanted to share that with you guys as well, because I know a lot of you are looking forward to a Saturn transformation, but unless the anime completely changes it around, I don't think it will happen. I just want to share that. So anyway, share your thoughts about this episode in the comments below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it. I hope you all liked it as much as I did. I'm looking forward to the Sailor Box or Sailor Triangle episode next week. More Super Sailor Moon. And also, last thing to quickly note, Jose, we talked about this on Snapchat. And if guys, please follow me on Snapchat if you want to talk, because I always am on Snapchat. I love it. We talked about the phrase Moon Crisis Makeup being used as opposed to Crisis Makeup. I don't really think it matters. And obviously, I think you believe the same thing. I just think it's weird that in the manga she does say Crisis, but here she just says Moon Crisis. She says Moon Crisis Power in the original dub, but she says Moon Crisis Moon Crisis Makeup in the Super S Japanese original. So it's like a weird thing that it's kind of being all blended together. But I guess as long as she's saying Crisis, we know she's going Super. Or Moon Cosmic Dream Action if we're watching the original CWI dub. Anyway, share your thoughts about this episode in the comments below. We got 2 Rainbow Moon Heartaches in this episode, which I also loved. And what was your favorite scene, favorite attack being used? What are you looking forward to next week? And we'll talk real soon. Bye, guys.